I wrote Landslide very fast. I had met some people in Aspen, and I went up to somebody's really beautiful house with my little Goya acoustic guitar, and I think they went out or something, and I just said, can I just stay here and just sit on the living room floor and look out this amazing window at this amazing view and just write? And they said, sure, and they left, and I just spent a couple hours there by myself. And I really did sit there on the floor cross-legged looking at the mountains of Aspen, and obviously there's not too much about snow-covered hills in any of the rest of my songs, because I don't have any snow-covered hills in any of my songs, you know. I never go to the snow, so, and that's when the whole kernel of the reason that I wrote it started to happen in my mind. And when sometimes when you write a song, you have a poem. Sometimes when you write a song, you don't have a poem. It's simultaneous. And this was one of the simultaneous songs, which I just started playing, and I just started singing, and I just started writing, you know, as I was going. So it was very fast. Some of my songs are written very, very fast. And when that happens, it's very magical, and I know it. The first part of Landslide, I think it was the first line. I think it was, I took my love and I took it down, which really meant, I always said I took my ego and I took it off the mantle. Like that trophy ego that we all have, you know? And I took the ego down and decided, was it selfish to walk away? And I think that I understood that somewhere I felt something big coming, and that what was really coming was Fleetwood Mac, and that I was going to give this relationship that had already been going on for a long time. I mean, Lindsay and I had been together in a band since 1968, and we had been together as a couple since 1970. So this was already 1973. So we'd been living together, you know, pretty much as a married couple, more or less. And so this was, if I was going to walk away, this was a huge deal. So that was in other words, I stood back and saw the future. And that's what Landslide meant, was the landslide will bring you down, you know, the landslide of what it could have been or might be. I was only 25 years old when I wrote it. So it was not written by somebody my age now. It was written by a young girl in her mid-20s. So what I hope when this show does this song, I want people to listen to it and understand that this was not written by this old woman, you know, that this was written by a young girl who was facing her future. And I think that what your show does that I love so much is it brings a lot of these great old songs that were written by all these famous rock and roll stars that are older now, but they were just kids when they wrote these songs. So it's not like they're not relevant, because all young kids are the same, you know. We're all the same in our 20s. We're all looking towards what's coming in our life and whether we're going to get married early or whether we're not, or whether we're going to have kids or whether we're going to be in music or try to be an actress, or all this is coming when you're 25 years old, you know. So I hope that, you know, seeing this song for those little, you know, 15, 16, 17-year-old kids that are watching this, they'll go, well, where did this song come from? And then this will go back from me to the Dixie Chicks, or from Gwyneth to Glee, back to the Dixie Chicks, back to Billy Corgan, back to Fleetwood Mac. So, and then the music stays alive, you know, and these great songs from the past that would otherwise be, unless you happen to be a big Stevie Nicks fan and come to see me in concert, these songs are going to fade. They did a great job. They did a great job. And Gwyneth sang it beautifully. And, you know, so, I mean, whether Natalie's singing it or I'm singing it or Gwyneth is singing it, it's, everybody that has done it is very loyal to the original version. And that, I love that too, because that means that the original version really did touch people and they don't want to change it. I've been such a part of this show in my heart for so long that I feel like these kids are all my kids. They're my children. They're my little song children, each one of them. Each one of them or all of them, you know? And so I can't imagine somebody not coming down to see them work on a song that they wrote. So I hope, you know, I'm going to call everybody I know that's ever had a song done on this show and say, so, what is up with that? show some interest in these kids are bringing your music to the world. They're bringing your music and my music back to, any kids between 8 and 30. They're bringing your music back. So everybody should show some interest in this show because this is important for where music goes in general. I love the camaraderie. I love the football players and versus the Glee, and then the blending of the two. I love the fact that they do two songs together, that they mix up their mash songs, that they actually blend two songs so beautifully together. I love the fact that their versions of all these songs really are stellar. And I'm as loving as people think I am also extremely critical. And so I've never once ever watched one of these songs and said to myself, that wasn't a great version of that, ever. So I feel that they have been spot on 100% of the time with the care and the love that all of them have put into each one of these great songs. And that they are single-handedly responsible for bringing a lot of this music back to the mainstream. I wonder sometimes where you guys found all these kids and how you found such an amazing group of kids that are all equally talented and equally talented at being an actor and an actress as being a singer, dancer, choreographer, organizer, teenager. How in the world did you find these kids? And of course I go, now, if I had been their age and I had seen the audition come up for this, I would have auditioned for this, absolutely. Even though I never wanted to be an actress, I would have gone out for this. I think this is really gonna go down in my life as one of my best days. So on my last day on this earth, there are a few things I will think of. And I will definitely think about my day at Glee because it has made me so happy to be here and to spend time with these really brilliant little people. And it makes me go back in my own life and remember so many things that happened to me that you guys depict on this show and that are so real and so heartfelt and so loving, and the writing is so beautiful. And I'm really happy to be a part of it. I think from the very beginning, I knew somehow, someday, I would be a part of this show. And I feel that I am now, and I love that. And I'll take that away from here with me always. Very special.